Okay, let's try this again. Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi, and I'm somebody who went from working 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week, often 7 days a week in an office, to being unemployable without a plan B. Well, that kind of sucked. So now I help people with a job to start a side gig online, use social media to grow it. That's how I learned. That's how I'm going to teach you. If you are serious or curious, drop the word me in the comments. I got you. I'll get back with you. Let's get this party started. I have been trying to go on live for about 20 minutes, half an hour. And for some reason, I wasn't able to. So the flyer that I posted that I'll see you at 1:45, I apologize. I'm super late because I was trying to get this stuff set up, and for some reason it wasn't just going live. So my apologies. But I have a good one for you. I have a good one for you. Welcome, welcome. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok. Let's go. If you're joining me live, would love to know where you are tuning in from. I am from Southern California. Yes, that's where all the mess and the chaos is happening. And I welcome you to join me here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And I know it's super late, so you guys are troopers. I got a good one for you. I got a story from, yeah, and hey, let me remind you, I love stories. I love telling stories, collecting stories. I just love stories. So, Michigan State, let's go. I used to live in Michigan. What? I lived in Michigan for 52 months. Yeah, in Troy, Michigan. I don't know where you are in Michigan, but that's where I was. And no, I do not miss the cold. Although I do miss some of the scenery, I have to tell you. But Michigan, yeah, buddy. So let's go. LETSGO. That's how my mentor Ray Higdon says it. So tonight, got a story for you. Um, One day, a man is walking to his office. A well-dressed man, looks like he's got some money, walks into his office, is walking to the building to walk into his office, and he sees a homeless guy sitting right next to the door of the building. This guy is asking or begging for money or loose change. Well, this guy steps inside the building but decides to step out and help this guy out. So when he steps out, he asks the guy, "Hey, why are you sitting here next to the building and asking people, begging people for loose change?" He says, "Well, I mean, this is where I've sat for a lot of time, and if I have to move, I'll move." The businessman says, "That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why? What happened that you're sitting here next to the building begging for money? What happened to you?" So he tells him a little bit about his story. Hey, listen, this happened to me, that happened to me, this guy did me wrong, my wife did me wrong, all the stories, right? And then he says, "Yeah, but those are not the reasons why you are poor and you are sitting here." The homeless man kind of startles and says, "Well, what do you think it is?" And he goes, "You know what? It's because you think poor. It's your thinking." You have a begging mind. You're just used to poor thinking. It's not your past, it's not the excuses, it's not all that stuff, it's your thinking. So this guy kind of wraps up for the day and goes away. And on his way back to wherever he goes to sleep, he's thinking about what this guy said to him because this is the first time that anybody had stopped and actually talked to this guy, gave him like some thought for him to start thinking more. So as he was kind of falling asleep, he still was thinking about this guy and what he said about, hey, you know, begging and it's my thinking and it's poor thinking and it's begging mentality. Hmm. So the next day, instead of him going his usual route to go to the building and sit and beg for cash again, this time he decides to go through um, through the shops where there's like fruit shops and people are setting up their stands to sell stuff. So he's walking through the shops and he sees this kind of older man who has a fruit shop and he's got this big bag of mangoes he's trying to carry and bring inside. Well, it looks like he's having a really like hard time with this. So this poor guy, the beggar, he decides to go up to him and he says, "Hey, how about I give you a hand with this? It looks like you need a hand." And the man says, "Thank you, I really appreciate it." So this guy grabs the bag of mangoes, carries it inside, and gives it to the guy, and he starts to walk out. He's about to walk out. The old man grabs him and says, "Hey, wait! Before you go, here's two mangoes for your work today." This guy grabs the mangoes and he gets a little sparkle in his eyes. He tells the old man, "Thank you so much." And as he's walking out, then he's kind of starting to continue to walk towards towards the other shops. He's thinking to himself, wait a minute, Mel, thank you for all the love." He says, wait a minute. I didn't have to beg for the mangoes. I earned the mangoes. Huh. From that time on, he decided to go around and help people with their chores. Somebody needed their sidewalk washed, he would do it. Somebody needed to carry a box of apples inside, he would do it. He would find whatever he could find in the little shops to be able to earn his his daily bread. Well, got a little smarter than that, and he started to Ohio. What? I love it. Ohio. I gotta see Ohio. I want to really see Ohio. So, and you are welcome. Thank you for joining me. And so he's all like, he gets a little smarter than that, and he starts to save things because people don't just give him food anymore. They're giving him dollars, $5 here, $10 there, $10 here, $20 here, a couple dollars here. So he's starting to save whatever he can, whatever penny he can. And pretty soon, what he does, he buys a fruit stand and he starts to sell like random fruits. And before you know it, he's saving more and he has started his own small fruit shop. One day, as his walking towards his shop, he wants to open up, he happens to pass by the building that he used to sat right by the front door and beg for loose change. He happens to walk by there and he happens to see another guy, homeless, sitting there and begging for loose change. Immediately, he remembers himself. It's like a flashback. Goes back in time, he remembers the days that he would sit there and ask and beg for loose change, and how one person, without giving him a penny, changed his entire life. So he decides not to walk by, and he decides to give the same advice to that same man. And he goes on to his day to open up his shop and serve others. In fact, what he did, he starts to employ other people who are homeless and beg for loose change so that he can give them a help. How cool is that story? If that story hits you, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Let's go. And how many times have you? Oh, that is so cool. I love that. That was so cool. And so loud. I jumped. What did you do? Oh, you gave me some kind of a gift, huh? Give me a rose. Thank you. Thank you. It's such a cool story, right? So that was so cool. I don't get a lot of that stuff. I get excited over easy stuff. So, um, very cool story, right? Now, how many times have you been the person who's been sitting by a building begging? Chances are you haven't done that. But chances are you may have a begging mentality where it's the opposite of an abundant mentality. See, maybe your mentality is, yeah, just gotta beg my way to life, right? Just gotta complain and nag and blame all my excuses, all my past, and just ask because everybody owes me something. How many times have you been like that in your um, professional life? Work, co-workers, teammates, upline, downline, sideline, guests, prospects. How many times have you been like that in a personal romantic relationship where you begging for love, emotions, care? It doesn't have to be all about loose change. When you have a begging mentality, you subconsciously beg for things, but you don't recognize it because you feel like everybody owes you a living. Rocky said, nobody owes nobody nothing. You owe yourself, right? So if you have a begging mentality, you're going to be sitting by the building asking for loose change and never ever taking anybody else's advice on, because that advice would just go over your head. Why? Because the world owes you something. Your husband, your partner, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, they owe you. Your coworker, your teammate, your prospect, your upline, your downline, they owe you. Your trainer, your mechanic, your doctor, your God, they all owe you something. That's a begging mentality. But when you flip the script and you take some advice, you learn, You grow from your mistakes. You never point the finger. You don't complain and blame. You dust things off, get back to your feet, even if it's slow, but you do. That is an abundant mentality. Why? Because you feel like you owe yourself. Nobody's going to come give you loose change all day, every day. That's why people change locations. Why? Because people get used to them. So I'm asking you to flip the script. I'm asking you to change from having a begging mentality to an abundant mentality, to something that just can reach to other people. Pivot. Oh, that's such a good one. Over the rainbow, Clay works. What? Clay, are you a pilot? You work over there? I bet you haven't heard that before. Um, so I like that. Pivot. You got to pivot. You can't just be sitting there on your booty. You got to pivot. You got to move around. You got to get back up. You got to take that advice that hurts the most and run with that one. It's probably the one that you need. Probably the one that sent. Artist. Ooh, I good job. I like the pile of energy with my art. Yes. Ooh, look at this guy. This guy is poetic. I can tell why you're an artist. I like that. That's cool. I'm gonna check your profile out, bro. So yeah, with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. I always go back and check, read everyone, respond unless they're like weird. And no matter what platform, we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. So, and if you feel like this is worthy of sharing, you got to know somebody who got to pivot, got to learn, right? So tag into this, share. Don't be stingy with my lives. It's my lives. I don't understand why you're stingy with my life. So, so share, tag, do all that thing. And for those of you, this is your first time. Hopefully, it won't be your last time. I go live every night. So I've been doing it for since since January 1st, 2019. I've done over 2,300 nights lives every single day without missing a beat. So I go live every night. If you're not following me, let's go already. Follow me, and I will follow you back for sure. Again, unless you're like got this weird profile. You follow me on all platforms. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads, just go already. Let's do it. Thank you for the follow, Amanda. I'll check you out, follow you. And with that, I am Sean Azimi. I am somebody who went from working 14 to 16-hour days in an office, 6 days a week, oftentimes 7 days a week, to being somebody who is unemployable due to my pancreas. Now, because I didn't have a plan B and it sucked, now I help those who have a job, like to start something online, get a side gig started. I help you start and I help you grow it using social media. Like I always say every night, where else would you start a side gig? At the side of the street? Doesn't make any sense. And how else would you grow it besides social media? You can't water it, feed into it without advertising. Why? When social media is for free. It's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, if you are somebody who's been thinking about it, whether you're serious, you're curious, it doesn't matter. Drop the word me in the comments and I'll get back with you after this live. Even though it's 2:29 a.m. in California, I'll at least send you a message of something, and then we can chat more about it tomorrow. So with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. What's up?